Alright, welcome back. So in this video what we're going to cover is how to set up a chart in NinjaTrader. So what you're going to do is you're going to come to your control center. This is your control center. You're going to go to New, Chart. Pretty simple, right? Okay, here is where you can open up your instrument list. This is what we just covered in the last video. If you added instruments to a list, you're going to see them here. So if you come into Forex, you can see the various Forex pairs that you added to your list. If you were futures, you can see the various future pairs that we added to the list. And you're also going to see if you have any kind of a stock connection, you're going to see the NASDAQ 100. This is going to just have a list of all the NASDAQ 100 stocks, the S&P 500, or if you want to create your own, you can have your own stock list and you'll see that here. Okay, so all right, let's go into Forex and let's just create a Forex chart. Let's go to the euro dollar. It's one of the major pairs. Once you select it, you're going to get some options over here. Right now you're not going to have any templates. You can see that I do have a handful of templates, but if you have a chart template, you're going to see it here. So this is where we select the time period that we want to look at. So we're going to be looking at minute charts, but there's all kinds of options, and I'm not going to go through all the options. If you're curious on what all these are, you're welcome to research that on your own. But some of the things that you may look at will be like a tick chart, which is based on number of contracts or number of orders that are traded. So each bar represents a certain number of orders. Anyway, we're just going to look at minute for now. If you want to do like a daily chart, though, I want to show this to you real quick. You would select day, and then this is going to be a value of 1. So each bar represents 1 day, or week, also a value of 1. Okay. So let's go to minute and let's look at hourly bars. So we're going to type in 60 here for 60 minutes. That's going to be our hourly bar. And then down here we can you have options of doing number of bars or number of days. I always do days. So let's load 350 days, and here our end date's just going to be today's date. Sometimes if you're back testing and you don't want to load a ton of data, you could load the last 350 days and say you want to end on December 31st of 2018. So that would give you only data for 2018, so you're not overwhelming your CPU. And then for trading hours, we just want to use instrument settings. The only time you would change this is if maybe you're trading futures and you want to only look at the regular trading hours, which would be 8:30 to 3:15 Central Time. That's when the market's open. So ETH stands for extended trading hours if you want to look at a 24-hour chart. With Forex, it trades 24 hours, so we just want to use the instrument settings. And then down here, we're going to want to use candlestick. And bar width, well, that's just a personal preference. I keep it at 3. And let's go down here and see if there's anything that we want to change. And this all looks good. So let's hit OK. And we're going to get a chart. So my chart is going to look a little bit different than your charts because I have some settings that are put at default that you don't have. And let's run through those really quickly. So if you right click on your chart, come to properties, in here you can change the background color. So a couple things that I do is I have my right side margin turned on. I have it set to 8. You can increase this and it gives you more margin between the end of your chart right here. So let's say we want to do 30 and hit apply. See how that just gives me more margin here? So you can do that. Let's see, tab name. That's going to be your name right down here. Background color. I personally like the light gray. My crosshair labels, I don't have a problem seeing those. I keep them with these colors as well. And then down here for your grid line horizontal, this is probably checked for you. So you see these, you can now see these little grid lines. I don't like the grid lines. I like a really clean chart, so I just leave those unchecked. So I uncheck the grid line horizontal and I uncheck the grid line vertical. So those are the main changes that I make. And then what you do here is you go to preset and save. That way every time you open up a new chart, this is what you have. Okay, so make sure you save that and then hit OK. At this point, you should have a chart that looks like this. Now NinjaTrader 8 has some cool features where you can do multiple charts in one window. By just clicking this tab, you can open up another chart, and you're going to go through the exact same steps that we just went through. Okay, that's it, guys. It's really that simple. So that's all for setting up charts. In the next video, we're going to go through some basic features of the charts to kind of help you get up to speed before we get into the meat of the material.